Hey guys, how's it going? This is Joey Chan and Jonathan Boyle. We're coming to you live from my car. See the We Buy Houses sign on my car. And we got our other partner, Mark, here.
Hey guys.
And yeah, man, so today we're gonna talk about some of our real estate failures, right? A lot of guys don't really talk about this much. You know, they only tell you about the wins. They never tell you about the losses that they've had. So, you know, we're just gonna talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I guess we'll kind of go over what's been going on in our real estate careers right now, and kind of go from there. If you guys have any questions, feel free to let us know. Overall, I guess you could say that in the last 2-3 weeks, we've had, I think, 3 separate deals kind of blow up in our face, which could have made us potentially over $100,000. And most people, they'd be sad, they'd cry about it and everything like that. To be honest, I was sad for a little, but you gotta pick yourself back up and roll with the punches. It's real estate and a lot of things happen, so you just gotta do what you gotta do. So go ahead.
Yeah, just keep moving forward, man. So guys, whoever's watching, just say hi, where you're watching from, and whatever you're doing. We've had 3 deals that Jonathan briefly mentioned. We'll go through, I guess, each deal and talk about the deal itself, the potential. Let's start with, I guess, the simplest one, Jersey City, I guess. That's not as difficult.
So yeah, we had a 2-family in Jersey City. We had it under contract, a good amount, for $675. We were looking to potentially wholesale it. Had someone that was willing to buy it at $740. It would have been a killer deal for us. Unfortunately, they later on decided to try to go back and say, oh, they buy it for $600. So that killed the deal completely. Then, we eventually went back to the homeowner and asked for a price reduction to $600, so that way we could just do it ourselves and get it over with. The issue we did face, because it was a condo conversion play potentially, because it was in this heights, and it, to make it really, really nice, each unit probably could have sold somewhere in the high 5s, mid 6s at best. But with the election going on, a lot of people were very scared to pull the trigger. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm sure with what's going on now, they're probably even more scared. But regardless, we decided to, we offered him again $600. The guy came back and countered at $635. And unfortunately, that would have killed a majority of our margin. So we decided not to pursue it. And then, funny thing, which is another kick in the nuts, just like our meme on our group, we had someone who wanted to buy it from us for $670. So we had someone then at that point who wanted to buy it from us for $670. But when we went back to the homeowner, we realized that he had listed it on the MLS at that point for significantly higher, and that's sadly a deal that we couldn't do. We could have probably made at least 30-40K, something like that, hopefully. Yeah. But it is what it is. Lesson we learned is to reach out to a majority of our network a lot more, and a lot more extensively. So that's on us as learning to wholesale a lot more than what we normally do. Now, the second deal, I guess, or is there anything else I'm missing to that?
No, I think you're pretty good on that one. So yeah, let's move on to the next deal.
Yeah, so the second deal was actually a deal that our partner Mark here found from his marketing a while back. It was in Linden, and I guess you guys could tell the details.
Yeah, so it was actually, maybe Mark can...
Yeah, it's basically a half a duplex. The problem was the seller was kind of underwater. The as-is value of the house was, I think, probably about 170 at the most. At that time, he told us he owed 197 on it. The only way to make it work was we came up with something creative, thinking about doing like a subject to deal. So we got through the whole process, doing the subject to, and on the day of closing, we get the payout from the attorney, and it ended up being 285,000.
Yeah. So the lesson that we kind of learned from there, I know Mark is kind of sugarcoating all the little issues we had to face, even trying to get to that, but was when we came to look at that paperwork that was associated with the mortgage, we saw the total amount owed at 197, and then underneath it said deferment balance, which, to be completely transparent, we didn't know. Like, we thought that was included in the total balance, but it wasn't. And we found that out at the closing, even though the homeowner did say, oh no, they only owed 197.
Right.
Yep.
So
they swore up and down.
And they were upset with us. But again, that's something on our end. That's our our fault. We take responsibility. We have to dig deeper to make sure that things make sense in the future, and to trust but verify everything that even a homeowner says. So then other issues that happened with that property. Right before we were going to close the original time, there was a big rainstorm and the gutters fell off, and I think some of the soffits too.
Yeah, it was the soffits, the gutters, the fascia, like that whole right side of the house. The whole section fell off.
So there was, and this house, realistically, we spent probably about 3-4 months trying to close on it. So it wasn't only purchasing the property that kind of affected us. It was just the amount of time we put into it to actually have no return, basically.
It cost us a couple $1,000 with attorney fees.
Oh yeah, it cost us a couple
title
$1,000
fees.
Thank you with that too.
Less time.
Yeah. So yeah, that cost us quite a bit, right? That $3,000, another couple $100 with the title company. So, like you were saying, it was not just that, but now we learned the lesson to do a better job at due diligence, right? And that's kind of where mostly everybody fails at, because you don't discover a lot of flaws and things like that until you're into the project. And so that's where we need to get better, along with everyone else too. So it's not just us.
Plus, we learn a lot about subject to, the whole process.
Who to use,
Who not to use.
What due diligence to do.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then our final deal was this deal in Irvington. So we got this deal. Follow up with the homeowner. Made an appointment to come see the house. Our research sent the homeowner, actually the seller, a contract. Looked at the contract, and he signed it right away. He said, hey, I like you guys. I'm gonna sign the contract right away, and your price is gonna be lower than everybody else. But the thing was, he showed us a few contracts that he hadn't signed yet. So basically, to us, we were the first person to sign this contract.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I know other people were pursuing the deal months, probably like a month or so earlier, or even before that, possibly. And so we like I said, we had the first dibs on this project, and we were gonna close on it, right? So we waited, right? So what was the biggest mistake in terms of this project? What happened? So what happened was the seller signed like 3-4 other projects.
Or other contracts.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. So he signed 3-4 other contracts with other buyers. And to be completely transparent, when we got our contract, we didn't go to the title company soon enough, because one of the other contracts already did that and then clouded title, basically. Yeah. So basically title was clouded. Realistically, we still had legal contract, and we could have probably pursued some legal action, but Yeah,
we found out a friend of ours was also another party that had the contract, and basically, you know, he had worked on the contract for a while as well, and you know, we saw that he went a little further than we had gone, and we basically, like, we allowed him to close on the property, right, without basically hindering him. So he promised us, you know, he would pay us $1,000, because, you know, we allowed him to do it. We could have made a lot more, or we could have, you know, there was really two options, right? Either fight them in court, or, you know, let them have the contract ultimately.
Yeah.
Right? So we chose really the easier path, which was, you know, to kind of step away from whatever profit we could have potentially made and let them have the deal. So, you know, I would say we were the bigger person, and just do that for a minuscule amount that barely even covers our marketing costs.
It doesn't.
Actually, it doesn't. Yeah. Our marketing cost was higher than that.
Yeah, anyways, so it's funny because we actually had an end buyer who wanted to buy it from us.
We had two.
Yeah, we had two, and you know, we could have made like a quick 20K or so from that, but you know, we decided it's not worth pursuing all these, you know, legal troubles, and plus, you know, like, I guess to save the relationship, because, you know, they're real estate investors as well, so
Yeah.
you know, don't want to waste, you know, time of ours or time of theirs, you know, no point.
Yeah, it's silly, right? It's silly. You know,
Yeah.
just talk it out, you know, make things happen.
And Eddie, as far as your question about the seller, to be honest, I don't know if it would have even been worth it, because, you know, it's a deal in Irvington. You know, like, the most flipper for that size of, and the project probably would have made is like, I don't know, 40, 50, 60 grand. Now, I'm not diminishing that, but like, realistically, it's not a huge deal that was worth, you know, arguing about.
Yeah, it's not like it's like a home run deal where you're gonna make over 150,000 or something like that. So it wasn't something, you know, to kind of waste our time on, right?
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, fine, you know, just give us a little, cover our costs, and, you know, we'll both move on, you know. By the way, we still haven't gotten paid yet, so any day now we're expecting that check.
Yeah.
You know who you are. So.
It's the principle of it.
Exactly. It's more the principle now than anything. But yeah, what else do we have going on right now?
Yeah, I mean, we have this one property in Roselle that we're gonna close on in wholesale at the end of this month. That'll be a quick flip. It's like 15 grand in renovation, and then putting it on the market, and you know, it'll be a good chunk of change from that.
Yep.
Another property that, you know, I have to go deposit or I have to give the deposit right after this, actually. Is a property in Wildwood. Got a better deal than Carmelo, just saying.
That's right.
4-unit bungalow with a 3-family. You know, we're gonna be doing the renovations, probably keep 2 as rentals and 2 as Airbnbs, and it's only about 2 blocks away from the beach, so you know, it's a pretty great deal. Doesn't need a ton of renovations either.
Yep.
There's that, and then there's potentially this Newark property. Submitted the offer. Wholesaler buddy of mine, he had it in an attorney review, and because, you know, he's newer and unfortunately doesn't know enough, he kind of gave a bad taste to the seller's mouth, so we might have to talk to someone else to partner with us to buy it or something, so that way you know, we could still save that deal.
Yeah, so Fatina, I'm just gonna answer your question real quick. Do all hard money lenders fund wholesales? Kind of, yes.
Numbers make sense.
Yeah, as long as the numbers kind of make sense, they would. We did it in Garwood. We had Peak Private Lending fund us over there. Yeah, she knows. That's why I was telling about that. So same thing. Natalie, we're gonna contact you right now in like 2 minutes. Hopefully it's good news. Should be closing on a deal today in East Orange. Last week we closed on a deal in Randolph. Got a nice wholesale fee for that. So that's
yeah, no, thank you. You know, at the end of the day, yeah, we wanted to make this just because, again, everyone shows the successes, but they don't show the failures. Like, Yeah, again, you know, if you do the math, we probably lost around over 100,000 from just those 3 deals alone over time. So, what's the building department like in East Orange?
Oh, we don't want to say.
Have you ever been kicked in the nuts? Just think about that.
There's a video we have. It's about getting kicked in the nuts. So dealing with East Orange is exactly like that video.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. You can make money. It's just dealing with the unorganized nature of East Orange's building department is a pain, and you need to calculate for that.
Yeah, because every person there makes up their own codes. So, you know, when you speak to one person, this is what you have to do. When you speak to the next person, that's what you have to do.
Lost 100K, but how much value did you learn from failing? Well, I mean, we're not going to make those same mistakes again, so that's the point there. So I'm sure we learned a lot, and don't get me wrong, like, I'm pretty sure most investors, they lose out on deals, they lose out on a lot of money and shit like that. Thanks, Carmelo. So anyone could see it. Rent money.
Champion.
But what else?
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Guys, I gotta head to my chiropractor, so I'm gonna cut it short.
Yeah,
so,
and I've actually gotta.
He's gotta go submit a deposit for a deal for us, so he's gotta run.
Yep. So. Oh, go ahead.
No.
Yeah, Carmelo missed our jab, but it's all right.
It's all right. We'll get him offline. So
yeah. Later, guys. You know, it was great talking to you, and we will definitely, you know, make another live in the coming days or something.
As always, subscribe to our podcast, Newbie Real Estate Investor. It's youtube.com/c/newbie REI. Thank you once again. Have a good one.
Yeah, and join our Facebook group if you haven't as well. So that way, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to reach out.